If you ever hear the phrase needs a lift or sick add-ons, it came from here.
I'm not as bad as a guy as I come off to be. You thought I was annoying.
Only for the first 10 or 12 videos.
You kept watching 10 or 12 videos.
Kept watching though.
Why? Because no one has this space but me.
And nobody, man.
Why.
Nobody's talking about lifted van. I don't know why. They're so cool though.
Why doesn't no one want to talk about lifted vans? Hi, Jeremy.
We need more. Oh my God. Here we go. Starting the drama. No, it's all good. It's all good. Anyway, there's John's extended. He's lifted. There's my cute little honey.
I just always wanted to tell him, hey man, I'm a fan. You guys cater to yuppies. That's what I told him. I told Jeremy, man, I wanted to get to know you because I'm the blue collar guy who will actually get my van dirty. And I always wanted to tell Jeremy, man, the vans you feature are all beauty vans. None of these guys are going off-roading. The most off-roading they're gonna do is you know, a Starbucks drive-through with a puddle. This guy want to run me over? Sorry, man. That would have been my viral video right there if this cop ran me over. You know what a viral video is? $3,000 to $6,000. So I just missed my $3,000 to $6,000 right there. I would have quit my job if I got that viral video. Happy Saturday. Hold on 1 second. Like my hat. The first lifted van meet of 2025 was back in March, and Carlos asked me, why aren't you on any 40 Econoline Facebook groups? You should be on them to promote your meets. And I told him, I'll tell you why someday. Today's the perfect day to tell everyone why I'm not on any 40 Econoline Facebook groups. There's a difference between fan and fanboys. Weldtec fanboys hate me. And I know which one hates me the most. So a couple of years ago, this guy messages me, hey man, I just want to thank you for your lifted van videos. It has been an escape. I'm going through a divorce right now. And I told him, right on, man. So he tells me, yeah man, I have a Weldtec Designs lift kit. So I was like, sick, dude. Come to one of the lifted van meets one day. So you know me, I give lift kit advice, and he does not like my lift kit advice. So this guy goes crazy on me. And then this is the type of guy, he actually never goes off-roading. He goes to paid campgrounds and he has pictures of his van in his driveway. So I'm like, man, this guy's getting mad at me for giving lift kit advice. And this guy doesn't even go off-roading. So I never got on Facebook Econoline groups because I see this guy's a top contributor. I don't know if he's a moderator, but I remember things. And I remember every negative thing this guy's ever said about me. And a bunch of other Weldtec fanboys are on 40 Econoline groups. And yeah, I don't need that negativity in my life. And that's why I'm not on any Econoline Facebook groups. But let's go ahead and get to the topic right now. And I'm not going to get too deep into this. It's water under the bridge. But this is my second van build. My first one is back in 2012. It had an action van suspension lift kit. I got this van in 2020. I got it lifted a year later at Weldtec Designs. And when I was at Weldtec Designs, I was hyped, man. I've been talking about this since 2012. I love lifted vans. I love lifted vans. I started meets because that's how much I love lifted vans. I think they're every bit as cool as a Tacoma or a Wrangler, and I wanted to represent it. So when I was at Weldtec, I felt like Jeremy kind of snubbed me. And like I said, I don't want to get too much into it, but for the past couple of years, they've been trying to reach out to me. And in life, I think we all have egos in a way. But with my dad passing away, I finally messaged him back because he emailed me. He had his salesperson, Patrick. Shout out to Patrick for reaching out to me. Patrick reached out to me. And then Jeremy finally emailed me. And it took me a while to email him back. He actually emailed me 3 days before my dad passed away. And, you know, I wanted to have the right words for him, so I didn't message Jeremy until like 7 months later after my dad passed away. And I told him, listen man, I'm sorry about the late reply. You know, my dad passed away 3 days after you messaged me, and you know, I don't want to come up with the wrong words. But now reflecting on everything, so let me go back a little bit. During the lifted van meet, I get a message from Weldtec's Instagram, And Patrick tells me, hey, you know, so Jeremy never replied to my email when I told, hey man, sorry about the 7-month delay. But then I get a message from, you know, Weldtec's Instagram saying, Patrick telling me, hey, Jeremy wants your number. So this was during the meet. So I said, you know what, Weldtec, you know, I actually wanted to get a hat before the meet. You know, I was gonna wear an Action Van, a Weldtec hat. I wanted to have an AJ's and a U-joint. I wanted to have all the vendors' hats for this meet, but I saw that they were closed Monday through Thursday, so I'm working when they're open, and then when I'm off, they're off. So I said, okay, I told my girlfriend, I'm gonna stop by Weldtec because this is the only opportunity, because I wanted to talk to Jeremy in person. So I get to Weldtec, you know, I say, yo, Patrick sees me, and you know, he told Jeremy, hey, John Drives Anything is here. So, you know, I talked with Jeremy, man, and he said, hey, I'm sorry if you felt snubbed. I never want to treat anyone like that. And I say, yo, Jeremy, man, water under the bridge. You know, let's, you know, I got a lot of ideas for you, man. So we talked for about 15 minutes. He tells me, hey, man, I'm really busy. I would like to go to the meets, but, you know, I got life going on. I say, yo, man, completely understandable. I told him, so... You know, I give him my number and I say, yo, man, let's talk one of these days when we actually have a lot of time. I was there 15 minutes, and this is what I told him. I want to tell you what he told me first. So he told me, hey, man, I appreciate your honesty about lift kits. I want to get progressive leaf springs under your van, and I don't want you to fake it. I want you to have them under your van. I want you to be genuinely blown away. I want you to be honest. And that's what he told me. That's what he pitched to me. He wants me to upgrade my van. And then this is what I pitched to Jeremy. You know, I said, you know, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that you see who I am, and I'm just being honest and, you know, giving my recommendations. And I told him, here's the deal, Jeremy. A lot of my friends went with Action Van suspension. Like half of the meets are Action Van suspension. And for a lot of people, that price gap is going to determine whether they get a lift or not. But I also told them this. I said, a lot of my friends who are new to this and have told me, hey man, you inspired me to lift my van, they still went with Weldtec. And I told Jeremy, you got fans, man, regardless of price, you got your set of fans. And here's the deal. You know, I said some of my best friends are Weldtec fans. And you know what? Some of my friends that are Weldtec fans went to Action Van suspension for a locker or a re-gear. But I told Jeremy, and I've always said this, a lot of you were never offended by my lift kit advice. You see what I say. You're actually paying attention before you're raging. I've always gave Weldtec their flowers. You could never find a negative video I've said, you know, downgrading or down-talking Weldtec. I've always said, they're important for the industry. They lift transits. And I told Jeremy this. I said, listen, man, you lift transits, you lift Econolines, you lift Chevrolet Expresses. And I told him, I got a buddy, California Camping Adventures. He has an express van. Larry doesn't make an express van lift kit. You do. So I told him, hey, man. So Jeremy, if you're watching this, my buddy Camille, California Camping Adventures, he stopped by, man. He's getting his van lifted on the 17th, and I'm actually going to do an impromptu meet on the 20th and 21st of this month. So Camille is going to have his Weldtec lift kit in his express van for this impromptu meet coming up. But Camille told me Jeremy wasn't in. I know there's a $200 promo right now going on at Weldtec for the month of December, like $200 off installation. Yo, Jeremy, how about you give my buddy Camille more than $200 off? We're gonna rep Weldtec. This meet, you run what you brung, man. There's Weldtecs, there's Action Vans, there's AJ's 4x4s, there's a U-joint, there's everything. There's a Ford Parts 1 spacer lifted vans, there's stock vans. And that's what I told Jeremy, man. I told him, yo, man, come down to the meet, and if you can't, send one of your guys, man. Send them in your best Weldtec Designs van, and I'll give you as much love as I've given Action Van. You know, I'll rep you, man. And I told him Camille will rep your company, you know, because it's a small market. And Weldtec, they have the whole catalog. They have bumpers and boxes, and a lot of people are going to go to Weldtec. And I've always said it. I've always said, you know, Weldtec, Jeremy's the man for being important to this industry. I like to be real with you guys. Action Van Suspension doesn't pay me. Jeremy's not paying me right now. I'm just a guy that loves this hobby. The lifted van meets have grown from 2 of us. It's grown from 2 to 3 to 5, 5, 7, 7, 20, 20, 20. So this last meet would have had 50 if it didn't rain. But that's what I told Jeremy, man. You're welcome, man. You're welcome to hang out with us. You know, I think your fans would get a kick out of seeing you there, you know, just talking to you in a personal camping off-roading setting. You know, I'll always be grateful to Larry at Action Van Suspension for showing up to my meets. When 5 people were showing up, I feel like Larry gave me credibility. You know, like I said, Action Van's not paying me, Weldtec's not paying me, but I will give a shout out to Van and Camp, Jacob and Kathy. They're the first company to reach out to me and say, hey, we like what you're doing with these lifted van meets. We would like to send you some window covers. And I got an affiliate link from them. And a few of you have used my affiliate link already. So thank you guys for the support. It's a whole nother topic, but I almost stopped doing these lifted van meets. You know, a lot for me has gone wrong this year, but you guys really wanted me to keep doing this. So yes, lots of crazy things happened. Van and Camp reached out to me. Larry showed up to another meet. Weldtec reached out to me asking me for my number, and I finally got to talk to Jeremy one-on-one, and it went really cool, man. Jeremy was really nice to me. This guy wanted to run me over. Sorry, man. That would have been my viral video right there if this cop ran me over. You know what a viral video is? $3,000 to $6,000. So I just missed my $3,000 to $6,000 right there. I would have quit my job if I got that viral video. So that's another thing I'm thinking about doing in 2026, quitting my job and having a little more fun in life. I don't, you know, it's been a crazy year, and I appreciate all of you for like telling me how much these meets mean to you. I love doing them, but I was just going through so much, but it's just crazy the timing of everything. So yo, Jeremy, man, help my friend out. You know, it's a $200 promo right now, $200 off install price at Weldtec right now, the month of December, I believe. But hook my buddy up, Camille, with more than $200 off. So he's gonna pick up his van, I believe, on the 19th or 18th. So we're headed out on the 20th. So he'll have his Weldtec Designs decal on his Chevrolet Express, and you know, this is not going anywhere. I am surprised they continue to grow even in the rain. 20 vans were there. So yeah, man, it's all water under the bridge now. You know, it's like I just want to see this grow. I want to see people happy. There's fans of Action Van, Weldtec, AJ's, Advanced 4-Wheel Drive, and you know, it would be cool if more vendors came out. Off-Highway Van, they don't do Econoline stuff, but Off-Highway Van follows me on Instagram, and I invited them to the meets. You know, a couple people with Pro Masters and Sprinters have asked me, are Pro Masters welcome? Are Sprinters welcome? Everyone's welcome. This year we didn't have an oddball in the group. Like, there's always been an oddball non-Econoline in the group, but this year there wasn't any. But I'm John Drives Anything, not just John Drives a Lifted Van. I have friends that drive all kinds of stuff. So, you know, I just started this, you know, to hopefully get people out having a good time and experience how great these vans are, you know. So lifted van meet, yeah, you don't need a lifted van to join us. It's just I needed a gimmick. It's just marketing, you know. James, Chocolate Man in a Van, James Casino, he had a stock height van and did great. So James, I always see his posts. It looks like he's wanting a Sprinter. And I told James, if you get a Sprinter, you're always welcome to hang out with us. But, you know, I want him to upgrade his Econoline. 54,000 miles on James's Econoline, man. I told James, all right, man, the bias side of me is saying, build up your Econoline. That's 54,000 miles. You got another 25 to 30 years left. Mine's a 99 with 150,000 miles. I think James is what's yours, James? It's at least a 08 because of the front end, but 54,000 miles, man. So yeah, man, that was my talk with Jeremy. Nothing dramatic. We just finally got to talk. I just always wanted to tell him, hey man, I'm a fan. You guys cater to yuppies. That's what I told him. I told Jeremy, man, I wanted to get to know you because I'm the blue collar guy who will actually get my van dirty. And I always wanted to tell Jeremy, man, the vans you feature are all beauty vans. None of these guys are going off-roading. The most off-roading they're gonna do is you know, a Starbucks drive-through with a puddle. So that's what I always wanted to tell Jeremy, man. There's a great group of guys out here loving this blue collar. We're proud of our vans. This is the nicest thing we'll have. You know, mine's not much to look at, but it gets dirty, man. In fact, I'll show you guys what it looks like right now. It's still dirty from the meat. There you go. There's the inside of my van. This is your typical DIY non-build right here. A non-build with the lift kit. What have I always called this? Budget sports mobiling. So there it is, guys. I've had my Weldtec lift kit for 4 years now. This is not a fad for me. How many times have you seen it on YouTube when someone makes a Weldtec video? Weldtec, best lift kit ever, buy it now. And then you see their van for sale on a video like a year later. I'm not upgrading to a Sprinter or a Transit. Even if I make it big on YouTube and make $5,000 a month, I'm still gonna drive this same van. Maybe spruce it up a little, maybe a high top, but that's later. Like I said, thinking about quitting my job in April 2026. Go all in on my YouTube channel and my side hustles.